Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Everyone's awake? Okay. I'll go straight to the lecture because I'm really late. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Gyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakya Chakshurmilitaniyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Savitamena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamaya Dati Swaha Padandikam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. First I want to apologize for being late. I've been driving all day today. I should have driven about 400 miles today. So kindly excuse me. So I'm very happy to be here. And I'm sorry I missed the installation of Gauranitai and Jagannath Subhadra Balaram. Madhupati Prabhu did mention it to me, but the illusory energy kept me away. So I remember about 3 years ago, when I was staying in Tobacco Temple for a few days, someone brought me here. I said, Madhupati, I think we have a big playground for children, so how about? Someone brought me here, I think it was Madhupati or some other devotee, who showed me the old church from outside. And at that time, the negotiations were just beginning. And so I want to congratulate the team led by Madhupati Prabhu for having done a very good job. So far I've just seen the temple and the entrance, but after the lecture I'll walk all over the property with Madhupati Prabhu and the team. I think they've done a very good job. Everything looks first class. I agree that if you were to build a temple from scratch, it would have taken you more time and more money. And I heard you also have enough parking space here. Parking for how many cars? The street belongs to Krishna. They don't get tickets for parking, do they? In a Toronto temple, you park, you get a ticket in 5 minutes. So it's very nice. It shows that if devotees work together, they can accomplish a lot for Prabhupada. I believe this is your Golden Jubilee offering to Prabhupada, the inauguration of this temple. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent Rupa and Sanatan to Vrindavan. Rupa and Sanatan were at one time holding very important positions in the Mohammedan government of Nawab Hussain Shah. But both of them had their heart in serving Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent them to Vrindavan and told them the following. Write books on devotional service. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had given Rupa and Sanatan instructions, and based on those instructions, he asked them to write books on devotional service. Another instruction he gave them was to identify places where the Lord performed his pastimes. Like now you go to Vrindavan, you say, oh, this is where Krishna did this. Because Rupa and Sanatan identified everything. Yeah. The third thing he told them was, build temples of the Lord. So building temples is very important because these temples attract conditioned souls to the platform of devotional service. Prabhupada was struggling to establish ISKCON, and we are celebrating the Golden Jubilee this year of 2 points. One was the ISKCON incorporation, and the other one was the opening of ISKCON's first temple on 2nd Avenue. And subsequently, Prabhupada's disciples and followers went on expanding, and now there are about 650 temples all over the world. So a temple is a place of worship, and a temple is a place which attracts people. Prabhupada used to say, I can live under a tree and do bhajan. I have no problem. But if I do bhajan under a tree, I will not attract people. But if you make temples, temples will attract the conditioned soul. So I have no doubt that a beautiful temple here in Central Jersey, which has the deities of Radha Shyam Sundar, Gauritai and Jagrasvada Balarav, will attract more conditioned souls. I only hope that the management works in such a manner that we can also use this nice facility to attract local Americans. Because Prabhupada came to America to preach to everyone, including the local Americans. So you all have done a very good job. I've had the privilege of working on many big projects in India and Africa. And I must say your temple looks very beautiful, looks very artistic. The color combination seems good. And I'm sure running a temple, building a temple, improving the temple, it's an ongoing process. It's not that everything ends with the opening. I think it's going to continue, and I have no doubt that as time goes along, this temple will become a landmark temple for ISKCON in this part of the world. You have the deities of Gauritai. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is described as the most merciful of all incarnations. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, Daya Kora More, Toma Vinake Deyalu, Jagata Samsare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, please be merciful upon me. Why has the Lord appeared? Patit Pavan Hetu Tava Avatara. Mosama Patita Prabhu, Napai Bihara. As Narottam Das Thakur says, Narottam Das Thakur was a prince. He was the son of a king. But his attraction was the lotus feet of the Lord. So in his bhajan, the devotee sing, he says, you appear to save the fallen people of Kali Yuga. And you have Lord Nityananda. Aha Prabhu Nityananda, Premananda Sukhi. Lord Nityananda is always in bliss. Nitya Ananda. Ananda means bliss. Nitya means eternal. And I must say, your deities of Gauritai, they look very, very beautiful. And you also install Jagrat, Subhadra and Balaram. You all have Rath Yatras also. No, in Central Jersey. Uh-huh. 'Some of you may know, 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 ' The last year was the Golden Jubilee of Prabhupada's Jaladuta voyage, of Prabhupada sailing from India. Can you all turn up your mobile phones if you don't mind? All of you are VIPs, but for some, put it on the silent mode. So last year we celebrated the Golden Jubilee of Prabhupada's departure from India. We will discuss that. This year we are celebrating the Golden Jubilee of ISKCON Incorporation and the construction and the opening of the first ISKCON temple. The next year, 2017, is going to be the Golden Jubilee of the first Rath Yatra held in San Francisco. Prabhupada, when he came to America, and he heard the different names like New York, New Orleans, your own state, New Jersey, New Orleans, and New Mexico. Prabhupada said, you have so many news, why don't you have a new Jagannath Puri? And he named San Francisco New Jagannath Puri. And then he named the Vrindavan project, New Vrindavan. So Prabhupada had this great vision, and you may know that today, by the mercy of Prabhupada, we are holding more than 150 Rath Yatras around the world. Lord Jagannath is Lord of the universe, and the same Neel Madhav appeared in Jagannath. Long ago, in Satyuga, there was a very pious king called King Indradumna. King Indradumna, thou a king, his total meditation was on the Lord, 24 hours. So one day a Brahmana walked into his palace and said, "O king, the Lord has manifested himself as Neel Madhav. If you ever see the deity, you will be in ecstasy." And saying this, he disappeared from the scene. The king was very anxious to have darshan of Neel Madhav. So he sent his Brahmins all over the world, to every corner, to ask, has anyone seen a deity by the name of Neel Madhav? Everyone came back saying, no. They went house to house, village to village, but nobody could find Neel Madhav. One Brahmin did not come back, and his name was Vidyapati. He stayed on in the jungle to look for the Lord. And he got in touch with another great devotee called Vishwasu, who belonged to a scheduled caste that took care of pigs, but he was a great devotee of the Lord. He had a daughter named Lalita. Vidyapati was very impressed by her spiritual qualities, and they got married. Vidyapati observed that Vishwasu, his father-in-law, goes away and doesn't come back for days and days, or comes back after a day or two. And when he comes back, his whole body is full of fragrance. People love fragrances, isn't it? That's why you see in any department store, the first section is the fragrance section. They have such a big box. We open the box, the bottle in the end will be so small. People don't mind paying because everybody likes fragrance. Of course, these fragrances, I don't know if you know, these perfumes were all originally discovered in France. In France, people had a habit of not taking bath for days and days. And if you take bath, don't take bath for days, your body begins to smell. So they wanted something to put that off. And that gave birth to the perfume industry. So, Lalita said, there's a deity by the name of Neel Madhav, deep in the forest, that my father goes to worship. When Vidyapati heard the word Neel Madhav, he was in ecstasy. After all, this is what he was looking for. So he told his wife, can I have darshan of Neel Madhav? She said, no, my father will never take anyone there. He is scared that if a rich man finds out about this deity, then he will not be allowed to worship him. The rich man will build a nice temple for him. But Vidyapati insisted. So she asked her father. The father initially said, no, I won't take anyone there. But when his daughter persisted, he said, okay, on one condition. I'll blindfold your husband so he doesn't know how to get there. And when we get there, I'll unfold the cloth. He said, okay. And the wife and the husband were very smart. The wife took mustard seeds, put them in a piece of cloth, and the husband, as he was walking, he went on dropping the mustard seeds on the way so that he could later on track down a path to reach there. When they arrived in front of Neel Madhav, the cloth was taken out. And when Vidyapati saw Neel Madhav, he was shocked to see the beauty of the Lord. There are two types of deities. Now, your temple has very beautiful deities. You all must get more involved in deity meditation. One deity is self-manifested, like Balaji deity in Tirupati, Nathdwara. There are a few places in India which have self-manifested deity. So this Neel Madhav was a self-manifested deity. The other deity is, you get a deity made in Jaipur by the artist, and then on the request of the Acharya, by chanting proper mantras, they get installed. But this Neel Madhav was a self-manifested deity. So Vidyapati observed that Vishwasu, when he got there, he was working so hard for the deity. He was preparing water, taking water from the lake to do abhishek. He was plucking flowers from the bushes to make garlands. He was taking fruits of the trees to offer prasad. And over there was a lake on the side of which was a tree. And in that tree, there was a bird sitting over there, crow. The crow fell in the lake and assumed a four-handed form and went back to Godhead. So Vidyapati was thinking, if this crow can go back to Godhead by jumping in that lake, why don't I jump in the lake also? I'll go back to Godhead. Material world is full of suffering. But then a divine voice said, no, you're here on a mission to look for Neel Madhav. So the king, Vidyapati, went back and told the king, he's found Neel Madhav. Then the king, it's a long story, I'm just giving you a brief outline. Then the king with his army came to the place where Neel Madhav was there. But when they arrived over there, to their surprise, they saw that Neel Madhav wasn't there. Gone! And Vidyapati was shocked. He told the king he found Neel Madhav. The king came with his army. Now the deity is not there. The king arrested Vishwasu You must have hidden Nilmada from me. Tell me, where is the deity? Otherwise I'm going to imprison you. And at that time, a divine voice said, now I will not manifest myself anymore as Nilmada. I will manifest myself as Daru Brahma, as a statue made of wood. And there will be a log of wood floating in the water with the auspicious signs of Vishnu on the log of wood. The king went there, as described, and the log of wood was floating. But the king tried to lift the log of wood to bring to his house so that a deity could be made. But that log of wood was so heavy, the king could not move it even an inch. His whole army tried, and they couldn't do it. Then a divine voice said, my dear king, you must bring Vidyapati and Vishwasu, the two devotees of the Lord. Only then will the log of wood move. So then the king arranged a kirtan party, a golden chariot, and he called these two devotees to lift the log of wood. They lifted the log of wood, and it was taken to the palace of the king. And then the king called various craftsmen to make a form of the Lord from the wooden piece. But the moment they would strike the log of wood, their instruments would break. The king was frustrated again. I can't find anyone who can make a form of the Lord. Then soon, Vishwakarma. You've heard of Vishwakarma? What does Vishwakarma do? Vishwakarma, disguised as an old man, came to the palace and said, King, I'll make a form of the Lord, but on one condition. For 3 weeks I should be left uninterrupted. King said, okay. So Vishwakarma started carving a form of the Lord. And the king was sitting with his ears pasted to the door, hearing tick, 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 tick. This tick, tick is kirtan for the devotee. When we were constructing the Bombay temple in Jew, how many of you have seen the Jew temple? Okay. So when we were constructing the temple, we took Prabhupada to his quarters on the 5th floor. And on the ground floor, the craftsmen were cutting stones. So we told Prabhupada, we hope this noise is not disturbing you. We're very sorry for this noise. Prabhupada said, sorry? This is kirtan for the years. This tick, tick, tick. Because the form of the Lord, the temple of the Lord is being built. So the king in the Dumna had his ears pasted to the wall, hearing the tick, tick, tick. But then he saw, after the 13th day, the tick, tick stopped completely. And the king was wondering what happened. He consulted his council of ministers. What should we do? And the council of ministers said, don't do anything. Vishwakarma told us that if you come in prematurely, he will disappear. But Gundicha, the wife of the king, said, no, let's open the door and see what's happening. Maybe he's dead. Let's see what's happening. And when they opened the door, Vishwakarma was gone. And what the king saw was this incomplete form of the deity. Initially, when the king saw Lord Jagannath, he thought this was an incomplete form, and he was lamenting. Can you turn off your mobile phones, please? So when he initially saw this form, he thought that form is incomplete. And he was apologetic. Why did I come in? Now the Vishwakarma has gone away, leaving this form unfinished. But then Narada Muni appeared. Narada Muni is Trikalagya, past, present, and future. And Narada Muni said, no, this form is authentic. And this is the way the Lord wants him to be worshipped. And that was Lord Jagannath. So Lord Jagannath is Lord of the universe and extremely kind. And he appears along with his older brother Balaram and Subhadra. They have no hands. They have no legs. They have huge eyes. But they have no legs. But still the Lord walks all over the world. How does he walk? How does he walk? On the chariots. Then you also have Radha Shyam Sundar, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Very soon, in a few weeks, I believe on the 25th of this month, you're going to celebrate Janmashtami. Is it 25th in America also? In India is the 25th. So Janma Karma Chame Devyam. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, my coming and going are both completely transcendental. And anyone who understands this becomes free from the cycle of birth and death. And what does Krishna say in the 4th chapter? Yada yada hi dharmasya gnani bhavati bharat. I appear. Why? Why does Krishna appear? To establish what? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashasya duskritam. Dharma sanstapanarthaya samavami yuge yuge. So Krishna's appearance is going to be celebrated very soon. Krishna, the Supreme Lord, appears why? To save the conditioned souls. He, Krishna, is not an ordinary personality. He appears in his Archa Vigraha form to give us, the conditioned souls, an opportunity to engage in service to him. Krishna appears why? To save the fallen people of Kali. So, Janmashtami symbolizes the day Krishna appeared on this planet. Krishna appears on the planet on his own free will. He takes his own devotees as his mother and father, just like Vasudeva and Devaki. Jai Shri Shri Radha Shyam Sundar ki, Shri Shri Jagannath Subhadra Balaram ki, Shri Shri Gonida ki. I must say your deities are very beautiful. The backdrops are beautiful. The altar is beautiful. And all the devotees here are also beautiful. You know, Prabhupada, when the first ISKCON temple was opened, Prabhupada used to cook the Sunday feast. So one day he prepared a sweet ball with milk and water, milk and sugar and all. So the devotees asked him, Prabhupada, what do you call this? Prabhupada looked at it and said, simply wonderful. So Vasudeva Devaki performed extensive austerities for 12,000 celestial years. They did not take a drop of water. They were just breathing unpolluted air, eating leaves that fell off the trees. And what was their meditation? Please may we have the Lord as our son. So Krishna appeared in the prison house of Mathura. Once we were having a program in India, and the chief jailer of a prison in Mathura was our guest. He said, Krishna appeared in my prison. So Krishna's parents were in prison. So Krishna, in order to convince his parents that now he has appeared at last, he appeared in his four-handed form. beautifully ornamented, decorated with yellow silk sari, jewelry, which included a Vaidurya stone. You know what's a Vaidurya stone? It changes color every second. And you know where you can buy it? You can only buy it in one store. Vaikuntha Jewelry, Vaikuntha. You can only buy it in Vaikuntha Planet. You can't buy it in any jewelry store in India or America. So Krishna was totally decorated, ornamented. So when his parents saw this, Krishna appeared from the heart of Vasudeva to the heart of Devaki. And when his parents saw Krishna appearing in this transcendental form, Vasudeva was very happy. He wanted to give in charity, but that's a tradition. Especially when the son is born, the parents give in charity. In the Western culture, when they're born, you know what they give in charity in America? Well, you're not Americans. They give in charity cigars. That's part of American culture. When a child is born to distribute cigars. But in the Vedic civilization, they're more cultured. So, what did Vasudeva do? He gave away 10,000 cows in charity. These cows were beautifully decorated and ornamented. And he gave them in charity. So if you are in a position, we can't physically do something, you can do it mentally. There's a nice story that Rupa Goswami describes in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Once there was a very poor Brahmin in South India. How many of you are from South India? Okay. I'll tell you a joke later on, but not now. Okay. So anyway, I just did a whole tour of America and Canada. There were, in all the temples, a lot of South Indian devotees. But this Brahmin was in South India, poor Brahmin. He was hearing a discourse. He heard a discourse in which the reciter said, if you can't serve the Lord physically, you can serve the Lord mentally. So this Brahmin had a strong desire to make a temple of the Lord and to worship the deity. So mentally, he constructed a very nice marble palace, temple. Mentally, he installed Radha Krishna deities. Mentally, every day he would go to the sacred rivers of India. Like you take a bath every day, the Lord also takes a bath every day, which is called Abhishek. And to give the Lord a bath, we chant a mantra by which we spiritualize your Central Jersey municipal tap water into Ganga Jal. We chant the mantra, including all the... Traditionally, you give a bath by bringing water from the Ganga, Jamna, Saraswati, Narmada. But that's not possible. Even in India, you can't do it. So we chant a mantra to spiritualize the water. So, but this Brahman would every day go to these sacred rivers and then in a golden pot bring the water to bathe the deities. And every day he would do 7 aartis a day, right from Mangal Aarti to evening Aarti. And he would cook bhoga for them very opulently. So one day, mentally, he had cooked sweet rice. Sweet rice, as you may know, you cook it hot, but then when it's cold, you offer it to the deity. So he put his hand in the sweet rice to see how hot it was, and his finger got burnt, really burnt. So he was shocked. He woke up from his dream. And the Lord was accompanied by Lakshmi Devi. And the Lord started smiling when the Brahmin was shocked. How did my hand get burned? And Lakshmi said, why are you smiling? The Lord didn't say anything. Then he sent his Garuda airline superjet to bring this Brahmin back to Godhead. So Rupa Goswami uses this example to show that if you are ever in a position to not physically serve the Lord, you can serve the Lord mentally. Sharanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam. So you devotees in this temple are very beautiful deities. Your meditation should be how to serve the deities. We have the classic example, the story of Madhavendra Puri. You know that? Madhavendra Puri was the spiritual master of Ishvara Puri. Ishvara Puri was the spiritual master of So Madhavendra Puri was ordered in a dream to install the deity of Gopal, which he did. He arranged in 2 days the whole arrangement and installed the Gopal deity. So this way, the worship went on for 2 years. And all the inhabitants of the Braj area, they would offer cows and land to the deities. And in no time, the deity became very rich. But after 2 years, Madhavendra Puri had a dream in which the Lord said, I'm very pleased that you've installed me, but I'm still feeling great heat. Please go and bring some chandan for me. Chandan, as you know, is applied to the Lord in summer, not in winter. So Madhavendra Puri went, gave the responsibility of worshipping the deity, and he proceeded to get the chandan. And he came to the temple of Remuna. How many of you have been to Radha Gopinath temple in Remuna? So when he came, the temple of Remuna is very famous for the sweet rice that would be offered to the deity. So Madhavendra Puri had a desire that he may taste that sweet rice that was offered to the deity. But he had that desire, why? He wanted to go back and make something more palatable or as palatable for his deity of Gopal. But he manifested his desire while the offering was going on. The normal etiquette should be, when you're preparing an offering for the deity, please don't think, oh, I'll do this offering and then quickly I'll taste it later. Your meditation should be, the offering is being prepared for the deity. Then, when you offer it to the Lord, your offering mentality should be, Lord is eating. Only when the plate comes off the altar should you even dream of tasting it. So Madhavendra Puri manifested a desire to taste the sweet rice while the offering was going on. And when he discovered that the offering is going on, he left the temple, feeling embarrassed, went to the center of the market and resumed his chanting. The Lord knew what his pure devotee wanted. What did he do? He stole a cup of sweet rice that was offered in the evening, hid it behind the curtain, and told the pujari, I have hidden a glass of sweet rice behind the curtain. Please take it and offer it to Madhavendra Puri. The pujari could not believe The Lord has stolen a glass of sweet rice? How is this possible? He couldn't believe it himself. So he got up in the morning. What time is the Mangalarti at 4:30? Okay. The devotees come for Mangalarti at 4:30. But the Lord wakes up at 4 o'clock or 4:45. The pujaris usually make up the deities earlier. So the pujari got up, woke the deities, and to his surprise he saw, oh, there is that sweet rice. So he went to the market and said, is there anyone here by the name of Madhavendra Puri? Madhavendra Puri heard his name being called. He said, it's me. And he said, oh, you're so fortunate. The Lord has stolen a glass of sweet rice for your pleasure. So, the point is, now your devotees have very beautiful deities in your temple. I think in the beginning you just had, what deities? Nothing. Okay, small deities. Now you first got Radha Shyam Sundar, they were installed last year. Now recently, last week, you installed Gaurita and Jagannath Subhadra Bala. Now all of you should be meditating, how can I serve the deities? Prabhupada explained what is the difference between deity worship and idol worship. You must have heard the word idol worship. You must have heard the word deity worship. Prabhupada said, the difference between deity worship and idol worship is life. In deity worship you say, here is God, present before me. Let me engage in service to this Lord. And in idol worship you say, it's a murti hai. God cannot be there. In the story of Sakshi Gopal, you see how the deity of Gopal testified and saved the Brahman's honor. So now you have big responsibility. You invited the Lord to be installed, and the Lord has got installed. So you may think, oh, now our job is over. No, now your job has started. It's not over. Now your job has started. You have to make sure the Lord gets good offerings. You have to make sure the aartis are in time. You have to make sure devotees are there to clap for the deities. You should make sure the deities get good garlands, good prasad. Am I right? So now you all have big responsibility, because now you have to take care of the Lord in Archa Vigraha form. I was in the Middle East a few years ago, and I saw in the Middle East, every few blocks, there's a mosque. Not every few blocks, every block almost. Every 2 blocks there's a mosque. So I inquired from the local devotees, who makes these, who finances these mosques? Is the government financing them? They said, no. It's a tradition in the Arab world that when you make money, before you make your own house, you make the Lord's house. And then you make your own house. And the tradition in the Hindus is, first you make your own house, then your children's house, grandchildren's house, and then if some changes left over, make God's house. So now you all have a big responsibility. You have these nice deities installed. You have to take care of it. Prabhupada said, Prabhupada gave an example of Rupa Goswami and the main temples of Vrindavan were all inspired by the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. Prabhupada gave an example. Rupa and Sanatan and the Goswamis, they lived under a different tree every day. But for the pleasure of the Lord, they built the most opulent temples. Sanatana Goswami was doing Madhukari, going house to house. And going house to house, he saw a very beautiful temple, a deity of Radha Madan Mohan. And then he built a beautiful temple for them. So, deity worship is part of our worship. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu emphasized 5 activities to be very important. First he said, sadhu sangha. Stay in devotee association. If you are in devotee association, you'll always be reminded about the importance of spiritual life. Sadhu sangha, sarva shastakaya. Lama mata sadhu sangha, sarva siddhaya. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, chant the holy name. If you remain in sadhu sangha, you'll get the right advice. And the right advice is, chant the holy name, Nama Kirtan. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, third, what was the third item he said? Hear the Srimad Bhagavatam. Hear the Bhagavatam, hear the Bhagavad Gita. And the fourth was, worship the deity with faith and reverence. So when we worship the deity, we worship the deity with faith. Here is God, manifesting himself as the Archa form for us, the conditioned soul, and with faith and reverence. So we must have firm faith that God is capable of incarnating in any forms. In Kali Yuga, the Lord incarnates in the holy name. Kali Kali Nama Rupa Krishna Avadara. In Kali Yuga, the Lord incarnates in the Srimad Bhagavatam and the Bhagavad Gita. And then he incarnates in his Archa Vigraha form. In Kali Yuga, we are too conditioned. And our interest in spiritual life is very low. So the Lord has made these easy avenues through which we can engage in devotional service. So I'm very happy to be here, and this is a very nice offering for Prabhupada's Golden Jubilee. Prabhupada had a great desire that the whole world become happy. Just like Prahlad Maharaj said, my dear Lord, I'm not worried about my own liberation, but I'm worried about those who are trying to convert a position of distress to happiness. So, this was Prabhupada's mood. At the age of 70, almost 70, he sailed for the West. In a cargo ship. Would any of you travel on a cargo ship to India? You wouldn't even travel in a cargo plane. Forget a cargo ship. Prabhupada took the journey in a cargo ship. For 37 days he was on the ship, vomiting, seasickness. He faced 2 heart attacks on the 13th day. But then he was assured by the Lord on the 14th day when he had a dream in which the Lord was rowing the boat in which Prabhupada, he was rowing the boat which also had demigods, which was pulling the ship in which Prabhupada was traveling. And the Lord told him, don't worry, your mission will be successful. When Prabhupada was a small child, an astrologer predicted, he'll build a house which the whole world can live. So Prabhupada built ISKCON, which is dedicated to propagating the pure Vedic teachings. When Prabhupada was in New York in the early days, before he launched ISKCON, many people approached him and said, Swamiji, what you're trying to preach will not be acceptable to Americans. You should also become like us. But he refused to compromise. Prabhupada gave us the pure message of Krishna consciousness, and we should now take this message and broadcast this further. So this Golden Jubilee is a wonderful opportunity to meditate on all that Prabhupada did. Now there are nearly 650 temples all over the world. Prabhupada translated nearly 80 books in English language. Easy Journey to Other Planets was Prabhupada's first book in English. And today, Prabhupada's books in Prabhupada's books are almost in more than 80 languages of the world. Today there are more than 120 Govinda restaurants around the world, more than 60 farm projects. So, Krishna consciousness is today virtually in every corner of the globe. So we should take this message seriously. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Jayata Gotai Kao. Yeah. Prabhupada was one day sitting in New York bench, and sitting next to him, one Mr. Reuben was a bus conductor. So the bus conductor asked Prabhupada, who are you? Prabhupada said, I'm a Swami, and what I'm trying to preach. Prabhupada said, I know that temples are there, devotees are there, only time is separating them. So Prabhupada was a great visionary who appeared to realize Lord Chaitanya's prediction. The holy name will be chanted in every town and village of the world. So we should take this message seriously. We should earnestly endeavor to improve the quality of our chanting. We should earnestly endeavor to read Prabhupada's books and working together preach. Prabhupada used to give the example. He used to say, united we stand, divided we. He used to give the example of a blade of grass. A blade of grass by itself, if you pull it, will break. But if we took the blade of glasses, mixed it together, then try to pull it, will it break? No. So you have to work together under the GBC body and practice Krishna consciousness and spread it. Your goal should be to make everyone in New Jersey a Hare Krishna devotee. And we sincerely try, you can have it. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. I could go on, but I thought that we all may get disturbed at night. Is that okay? Any questions? No questions, comments? You want me to give the beads out now? It's a little unconventional, I have to admit. One of your no questions or comments? I thought you all would have some comments or questions.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you so much.
One thing also, now that you have so many deities, there'll be a lot of requirement for cooking and garlands. Am I right? I understand the devotee army of Matajis is cooking and making garlands. That's very nice. Yes. Question. I'm sorry. What is? Oh, it's hard to discriminate. All are favorite. Everything Prabhupada did was Vaikuntha. Prabhupada was once speaking on Bhakti Siddhantaji's appearance day. And Prabhupada said, what can I speak about him? He was a Vaikuntha man. So Prabhupada was a Vaikuntha man. Everything was 100% transcendental, nothing mundane. I saw Satsur Maharaj today. I was complimenting him for giving us the Leelamrita. Okay, any more questions? Yes. Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
You blessed us to have the wonderful temple for us. I really very grateful for that, Maharaj. What do you think is the most important thing which is important for a temple to grow? It's like it's a deity worship or prasadam or like preaching, or what should we focus more, Maharaj?
Of course. Prasadam is very important because an army can't march on hungry stomach. Anyway, so what is most important for a community, sir? What is most important for a community to grow?
Yes, Maharaj, for community to grow, to have more devotees to come to a temple.
Exemplary devotees. Devotees have to be exemplary. Chaitanya Charitamrita says, with our behavior we should convey the meaning of religious principles. Exemplary devotees and a feeling of unity. I think if the devotees work together, they're exemplary, you have good deity worship, then that will attract more people.
Thank you, Maharaj.
We should not think that just by material means the deities can be decorated. They can be, but the real worship will be the devotion of the devotees and the kirtan. And for a community to grow, a healthy habit is looking at the good in everyone. It's very easy to be like the fly and look at people's faults, but a more appreciative mentality is when you look at the good in everyone. Prabhupada used to say, we should be like the bee and not the fly. I understand you all I don't have much exposure to preaching in New Jersey, but I understand that you all do have a good community here working together. And I hope that you all keep expanding. Any more questions or comments?
To Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami about building temples.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that?
Well, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he instructed Rupa and Sanatan and told them to go to Vrindavan, that was one of the 4 points he mentioned, building temples. And Prabhupada in the purport says, our business is to build temples and distribute books. You have a nice bookshop here? Yeah. Prabhupada also said, these temples are bases from where the army operates. Any more questions?
What the message did you to give it to Indian people?
He didn't give me any specific message, but Prabhupada was a leading preacher. Prabhupada was giving everyone the message, please chant Hare Krishna. In the early days of our movement, there was a cartoon in a New York newspaper. The cartoon showed 2 individuals. One was saying chant, 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 and the other was saying can, can, can. So our business is to make people chant. Some will chant and some will say can't. So it was a pleasure meeting all of you. I'm glad I was able to devote nearly 1 hour to the lecture. I was worried I came late, so We had to drive at very fast speed to get. We had a good navigator in the back, Dr. Advaita, and a good driver, good pilot. Okay, where's Sabina? I believe we're doing a lot of. You stay near the temple. Come. So, how many rounds a day to chant?
16.
On Ekadasi and other auspicious days.
I do 18 right now, but I know it's 22.
Just endeavor a little bit more, and you'll reach 25.
25.
Yeah. What are the 4 regular principles?
It's no meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, and no gambling.
It's, no meat, fish, and eggs. Because in some parts of India, they consider fish to be vegetarian. Yeah. They say it's a vegetable of the water. So it has to be meat, fish, and egg. So your spiritual name is Sachi Mata Devidasi. So thank you very much. Pleasure meeting all of you. I hope to see you again. Hare Krishna. Okay. Okay. So anything else, Madhupati? So once again, I want to congratulate Madhupati Prabhu and the whole team for having accomplished quite a bit in limited time. You did everything in 2 years? How big was the church? And how much did we buy the church for? I'll tell you a story. The first church that ISKCON purchased was Vatsaka Avenue. Vatsaka Avenue, which was our whole headquarters, was formerly a church. So Prabhupada purchased this and made it into a temple. So one day the priest who sold the church to ISKCON came to see Prabhupada. They said, when we were running the church here, very few people were coming. But now we see the temple is bubbling with people. So Prabhupada said, that's because Krishna is all attractive. So you all have to attract people of all walks of life, not just people of Indian origin. And you have Krishna has given you a nice facility. Maybe if you have a regular feast on Sunday, on Saturday you can have a Western program. Okay? Thank you. This is Dravida Das from Moscow. Stand up. He's in IT world. In Moscow there are 8,000 devotees who chant nearly 60 rounds, and over 600 Bhakti Vriksha groups. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Thank you.